British MEPs arrived at the European Parliament in Strasbourg for the last time on Monday. With Brexit set to finally begin on January 31st, provisions on citizens' rights in the withdrawal agreement were debated in Parliament. For Nigel Farage, leader of the Brexit Party, Britain's departure from the EU is a moment he has been waiting for.
11 p.m. on the 31st of January, I'll be in Parliament Square cheering, because I've been fighting for this for a quarter of a century. For most of my time and my 20 years here, I've been considered to be a bit odd. Campaigning for something that will never ever happen. It's happening.
For some MEPs, there are still concerns about life in Britain post-Brexit, as well as the initial motivation of the Brexit Party leader.
I think his agenda is entirely personal. It's all about his ego. It's all about his arrogance. He certainly doesn't care about the Union. I'm absolutely certain that he would throw away Scotland in return for this Brexit that he has achieved.
Concern for the fate of Northern Ireland and the border between the Republic and the North was a topic much discussed since the referendum. For Martina Anderson, the last standing Northern Irish MEP, little consideration was given to the North.
You know, the North of Ireland is different. I suppose the clue was in the word. It was called Brexit, Britain's withdrawal from the EU. So the North of Ireland hadn't even been given consideration even to the name of the withdrawal. And I have warned this chamber and have warned the EU on a number of occasions about the withdrawal agreement and the implications and the implementation of the withdrawal agreement. Do not be surprised when, not if, the British government try to roll back from some of those commitments.
Everything's a compromise with Northern Ireland. You know, look at that border today. You've got different currency, different tax rates, different excise duties. You know, for Northern Ireland to work, for that relationship between Northern Ireland and Republic to work, there's got to be give and take on both sides. And I've got no fears that with a positive mental attitude, we can make this work.
People are very, very angry at having Brexit imposed on us by a majority that is effectively all from south of the border. And that's one of the things that makes the hackles on the back of the neck of the average Scots person rise.
For Nathan Gill, leader of the Welsh Brexit Party, such anxieties are personal rather than political.
I think they feel betrayed about the fact that they're losing a very well-paid job. And I was in the meeting in which all of the MEPs were discussing their benefits once we leave, and a lot of them have only just been elected. And there was a great deal of consternation about the fact that, despite the fact they've only worked for 7 months, they thought that they should be getting pensions. It was about lining their own pockets for a lot of people. I was very shocked.
Britain set to depart from the EU on January 31st, almost 4 years after the referendum. For the Brexit Party, this is the long-awaited conclusion to Britain's eventual depart from the EU. However, for MEPs in Northern Ireland and Scotland, January 31st will not mark the end of Brexit and the difficulties it caused. Instead, it will mark the beginning of an unclear future. Maeve Lee, the European Parliament, Strasbourg.